There's more rumbling at CNN, according to the New York Post. Co-hosts of CNN This Morning, Don Lemon and Kaitlan Collins, are on the outs with each other after Lemon, a veteran anchor at the network, allegedly screamed at Collins, according to this reporting.
Lemon apparently unleashed on Collins after a December broadcast and thought it was off camera, but the incident was on full display for the entire crew. According to the Post, Collins was so distraught by Lemon that she now wants to be on set with him as little as possible. We, of course, reached out to CNN for comment. We have not heard back.
So the reporting suggests it's because of Don Lemon's perception that Kaitlan Collins was interrupting him or talking over him. We have a supercut of some of those potential interactions. Let's play it.
A lot about it.
It'll be even more soon.
I know.
Yeah.
Which I should note, the Trump team is pushing back.
There are no new revelations.
Plan for Harry and Meghan.
Yeah. Kardashification, if that's a word, of
I think you just
the
made
royals. I think I just made that. What dog is
They've
this?
multiplied. You guys need me to step in here?
Hey, Kaitlan, it's CNN's Bianca Novola.
It's really important
made for
point.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different generation.
Different generation.
Who they're trying to appeal to.
I got to see them. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Which rankled the royal family, though.
So
because
much.
Princess Diana got so much more attention.
And Tony
Well,
Blinken
Kylie-
is speaking about that this weekend, too, about this possible deal. Forget now the CNN's Frederick Pleitgen.
Before you go to Fred, can I just add?
Frederick Pleitgen joining us from Berlin with the news this morning.
I think
We are
she
told
was-
that the swap happened at the Abu Dhabi airport. We're standing
It's
by
been
for the
10
President of the United States.
It's been 10 months since she's been held in captivity.
8:30 this morning. We need to also tell you, see President Biden expected to speak at the White House at any moment now.
And one
he
thing
was
to
briefed.
watch-
Stand by 1 second. He was briefed throughout the morning. It was awaited confirmation from Griner back in U.S. Custody.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
right.
And of course, conditions that she's been living through.
The
There's
President of the United States is entering the room with
President
Brittany
Biden.
Griner's wife and the Vice President.
Such
And
a
John,
big
glad
moment.
you were here.
Yeah,
Thank
such
you.
important perspective.
Man, I mean, look, Don Lemon is clearly, used to hosting on his own and hosting with a co-host. Sometimes you accidentally trip over each other. You talk over each other. It's just like, it's what happens. You and I, we have to be more careful because we're not in the same place at the same time. So it's even, you have to take, I think, greater care to not interrupt each other. And so we probably do it less often. Brianna and I interrupt each other all the time because she's sitting right here. Which is fine. It's just part of the process of making TV. What's not fine is to verbally abuse someone who, is your equal and is talented and is doing the best job they can do because you have this, high and mighty view of yourself or something. Again, we didn't witness this incident. This is alleged reporting, so I have no idea. But that's apparently people saw him kind of erupted her, which is not never a good thing to do in the workplace. Makes everyone feel bad.
I also feel like it is such a privilege to have a job where you get paid to give your opinions, to tell Americans what to care about and what's important. And the idea of somehow thinking that is we're so lucky to have this job. The idea of thinking that somehow, we deserve it and we deserve it more than our colleague. Mm-hmm. I find it so hard to imagine my way into that position. Now, I will say, I think that so this is a newly revamped show, right? Don Lemon was brought on, as you said, from having his own nighttime primetime show. And I think what they wanted was to have something more like Fox and Friends, or even not the Five, but something that had the kind of chemistry that Fox is so good at creating. But of course, when you have multiple people, they have to be able to interact with each other. And the idea is that chemistry translates into something the viewers want to spend time with. And it's just sad to see CNN keep failing to kind of to give viewers something that is valuable to them and that they wanted to spend their time with. I really do feel that you can sense on this show that something is not working. That there's not that the hosts don't seem thrilled to be talking to each other the way you and I are, Robbie. I hope.
No, you're absolutely right. You can't force chemistry. And it's just so important for these kinds of shows to have it. You're absolutely right about the Fox people. You and I have both been on a lot of different programs on Fox. I've gotten to know a lot of the hosts there. There is a lot of actual genuine affection, and a lot of hanging out with people after the show kind of thing. I have less experience with CNN and no experience with MSNBC. So maybe there are certain hosts and certain programs there at other networks where it's more like that. But it is so important to creating a genuine environment of people liking each other and respecting each other and wanting to hear what the other person has to say. I want to hear what you have to say about various issues because I don't always know. I can't always guess. You're a very interesting independent thinker. Same as Brianna. Same for the hosts we've had in the past. So audiences can tell when there's malice or if there's malice and disinterest in other people's point of view. I just don't think it makes for a good show. Obviously, it can be heated. It can be combative. Our show is combative sometimes. Usually not between you and I, but we have various combination of hosts. It's been combative. I think that's fine and can make for good television. But there just has to be. I think underneath it there has to be at least respect. And what it's sounding like there isn't a lot of respect between these specific individuals. And you shouldn't yell at the staff. You shouldn't yell in front of the staff. That's true at any job. Jobs can be stressful. I don't think our job it's exactly like you said. We're not working class people. We talk on TV or on the internet for a living. It's a tremendous privilege and one to never take for granted or never to get too big for your britches over.
Yeah, or take yourself too seriously. I think that's really what works, in Fox and Friends and The Five. There isn't this sense that these groups of people hold themselves in such high esteem that if someone interrupts them while they're making a comment, or if someone jumps in to take the read, that they would feel, aggrieved or somehow that their dignity had been harmed. No, that's kind of, joshing with each other as part of the thing. And I agree with you as well, Robbie, not to turn this into rising is the best, but I always want to hear what you have to say. I always want to hear what Brianna has to say, especially when I disagree with you guys, because I know that you're going to bring the smartest version of the view that I don't hold. And so it's so exciting to be able to be exposed to that and think, okay, I when I was imagining what that argument was in my mind, I didn't have this complexity. I wasn't imagining this. I wasn't imagining that you would bring this moral credibility to it, which is often what it is, less a factoid and more just an approach. It's such a privilege, and if you, it's really, I keep saying this every time we talk about CNN, debate. That is what the American people want. They want to see people who respect each other deeply, but who don't hold the same opinions, engaging honestly in the big stories of the day. And it's a shame that that this doesn't seem to be the direction they're going in.
Well said. Well, before this becomes too much of just an advertisement for our own program, we'll wrap it, and we'll have more Rising in just a minute. Please stay with us.